at the same time for Bernadette. Is this even going? Yes. Okay. All right. So, I'm kind of worried about Bernadette, but she's figuring it out. Okay. So we are going to be starting all the way over in the leaf one today, and you need to mix up a blue-green color. We used these colors before on the leaf one. You didn't put any leaves on yours yet, though. The colors that we mixed up previously for the leaf one were cerulean blue and lemon yellow. And so if you don't have an area for this in your mixing area, you're gonna wanna like paint with some water in an old mixing area and wipe it out with a paper towel so that you can mix cerulean blue and lemon yellow together, and you'll get like a yellowy blue green situation. We're kind of going for a blue green. The problem that I have is it's just not dark enough when I paint it. So then I have to add a little bit of my dark blue color to that too, just to get it a little bit darker, because the problem is that when I'm mixing this blue green, it's just not dark enough. So once again, I've mixed lemon yellow and cerulean blue, and I add a little touch of this color that we haven't used a lot of, Prussian blue, to my mixture, okay? I am using a really big brush. You probably will want to use a small brush. So the brush size that I normally paint with is a number 8, but you probably will want to use a number 6 or a number 4. I would suggest a 6, just because I feel like the 4 is so small, okay?
Lemon yellow.
Thank you.
Wait, but then isn't there another one?
Okay. Prussian.
Russian blue.
Okay. So I added one last time lemon yellow, cerulean blue, and Prussian blue. And I'm going, oh, there we go. Perfect. I love this thing. Then I don't have to project my voice. And if you don't hear me, tough luck. Sayonara, because I move on. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to use the color that you just mixed up. Hopefully you can see through the color that you've already painted on the square to the pencil underneath. And I want you using a number 6 brush that was already asked, and I've already said twice, so now this is 3 times. Number 6. 6, 6, 6, 6. You are going to want to take your brush, and in the top right-hand corner, I want you to outline the little leaf that you already have. You have one single leaf. I have already done it right up here. So you're going to take your brush, you're going to outline this leaf, and then you're going to take your brush and put it into some water, because you want to blend the outside part of the line down. And you want to blend it all the way kind of out here like this. So once again, you're going to take your brush, you're going to dip it in that blue, yellowy, green mixture that you made, and then you're going to outline the leaf, and then you're going to take your brush, dip it into water, rinse the brush out so only water is there, and then you're going to take the water and blend out the outside part of the line all the way down through everything else.
I can't even see my lines anymore.
Huh, this is a thing. After you are done with that, we are leaving that square and we are going to a different one. If you need any new paints today, please come up and see me. I will not come and see you, but you have legs and are more than welcome to walk up here and see me. Okay. Okay. You need cerulean blue. Athena, do you still have the cerulean blue? Okay, perfect. Here we go. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, here we go. Squeeze out whatever is left in there. The next square that we're going to be going to is the middle square, and we worked a little bit on that in the last class. I am going to zoom in because all of you are going to freak out because we are going to be painting the trees.
Wait, so should I like stop and listen?
Yeah. Nope, you need to go faster.
Well, I kind of don't know what I was.
Okay, so when you paint the trees, you are going to need to mix a tree color up. A lot of people don't like to use just a straight green. A lot of people like to use a green with a little touch of brown in it. I do, especially because just straight green looks kind of weird on a tree, to be honest. So I have mixed burnt sienna, which is the color that is brown in your paint palette, with viridian green, which is kind of a weird green. You wouldn't think it looks good, but it does. It's kind of the very bright green color that you have. So you want to mix that bright green, it's viridian green, with burnt sienna. And go ahead and mix that up. You want like a nice dark green. This is going to be a pine tree, and pine trees are really dark green. I'm going to put it in the screen for how dark my green color is. And I'm going to be honest, I'm probably going to use a size 4 brush because otherwise I have a feeling some of you might freak out. This is going to be painted really quickly. We're going to go really fast. For those of you that like to take a lot of time, lo siento, which means I'm sorry in Spanish, but if I took a lot of time to paint the tree, it would not look good, which is weird. Yeah. This is kind of my green color that I'm mixing around in here. It's like a very dark green because I mixed the green with that brown. Looks really nice. It's like a dark foresty green going on here.
Burnt sienna and
Burnt sienna, you got it? And the bright green, it's called viridian.
Yeah, we already made this color.
Yep, good. If you already made the color, all you have to do is add water to activate it. Don't worry, we're going to go back to the leaf in a minute.
You'd be such a good flight attendant.
Hey, let's go.
You would.
And heights do not at all scare me. Yeah, Britney Spears time. Okay, the part about the tree that students hate is that they're painting a tree. And you have to go quick. And they want to take 1,000,000 years to paint a tree. This isn't your final project. This is the experiment for the project. So we're not spending a lot of time on this. I have zoomed in. Let me zoom out a little. Take a sip of water.
and let's go.
Okay. I am using a size number 4. If you are going to really freak out about painting a tree, you might want to use a number 2. I'm just good with it. I'm just like, whee! Okay? I'm just good with it. I'm going with it. I have my green mixed up. You had originally painted, or not painted, drew with pencil a little tree line, okay? And if you just look up at the screen, I'm going to show you how I start painting the tree. And once I get about halfway down, you're going to get the idea, and then you could just go ahead. If you get the idea right away, you don't have to ask me, can I go ahead? You can make an executive decision to do that on your own. The first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to paint the top of the tree, and because my brush comes to a point, not a flat tip, that is great. The problem is if I don't take my brush on the edge of my paint palette and kind of get all the water off, it's going to put a ton of water down on the paper, and I want the tip of the tree to be really tiny and crisp. So I'm going to take my brush, like I show you up in the video here, and I'm going to tap it on the edge here so that there is barely any paint on. I'm going to start with the very top of this little pine tree. I'm just going to draw a little tiny line. Look at that. So cute. And then off of the little tiny line, I'm not going to start at the very top. I'm going to come down a little bit, and I'm actually going to do something that I'm coining as a term right now called dotting. I'm going to come over here a little bit and just kind of put some little dots, and then come over here a little bit, and then I'm going to put some more little dots over here and some more little dots over there, and I'm going to keep going bigger each time I go down, and each time I go down I'm also adding more dots so that it makes it longer, so that in the end this whole shape goes to a point at the top, and as it goes down it gets wider and wider. Well, now I'm at the bottom of that line that I just drew, so I'm going to draw another little line because this line helps me to go all the way down. So I went ahead and I put this line, I kind of drew a little one going all the way down, so now I know where to come out in this dotting. If you noticed, I am not, like when I was a little kid, filling in every single space with green. I'm allowing some of the light to come through my pine tree because that's how pine trees are. Some people, as they go down, they like to use more pressure on the brush and they push down on the brush, which makes their pine leaves and trees and needles or whatever you want to call them a little bit bigger. I just kind of like to dot mine as I go. The nice thing about dotting too is that you can go in really tiny for those of you that are a little apprehensive. You can kind of do like the one that I just did there, where you can do just like a ton of little dots. Do these first and then come back and kind of add more onto them. So if you want to go in a little apprehensive, you just kind of do these little dots at first, and then you can always come back and add more onto your pine trees. Some people like to make their branches a little curved. Some people like to make their branches a little straight. There is really no yes or no on a pine tree, which is really cool because all pine trees grow a little bit differently. I have one in my front yard that almost looks like a bonsai pine tree. It's very interesting. It's very old, and I had to look it up to find out exactly what it was because I had no clue, but it kind of grows in these weird little clumps. And so as I keep going down, you see that I'm just adding all these little dots and I'm going and going. And when I get down to the ground, I am going over the ground because my pine tree is growing from the ground, not from behind the ground. So as you see, I'm adding more and more dots, and as I get down to the bottom, I'm putting the dots on top. Now when I get all the way down to the very bottom, I'm going to go back up top and add another little layer of these dots on top of everything. So now I'm all the way down. Kind of looks like a very weird tree at this point. I would agree. Okay.
I was kind of just like, I wasn't thinking when I was like.
Now, the next thing that I want to do is when I go back up to the top, I'm going to work, I had to put a little bit more water into my mixture to rejuvenate it because it's already drying out. And now as I go up, I'm going to kind of concern myself with the middle part of the tree because I want to add some more into this middle part, right in the middle by where the trunk is. So I'm going to keep adding more little dots. I'm not going to keep adding dots as it goes out to the edge though. I'm just going to kind of concern myself with adding more dots by the trunk and work my way down. And as I get to the edges of all these branches, I put less and less dots. And that's what makes it look more realistic. The middle is always going to have the most amount of like little pine needles and things. And as it gets to the edges out in the branches, that's where you're going to have the least amount. So if you look up at the tree that I'm doing here, you'll see that the top part's looking pretty decent until I get about halfway. And then it looks kind of weird because the top part is where I added all those more dots. And as I went out to the edge, I didn't add as many dots. So I stopped right about here. I'm going to continue to go all the way down to the bottom right now. And the problem is that most people have when they first start doing little pine trees is that they add in too many dots.
Oh, yeah. I already,
Yeah, okay? Hey, it's all right. You're learning. We're not Picasso yet, all right?
It looks really good.
But this is the thing. From now on, you'll know, like, when you do a little pine tree, you'll be like, ooh, I gotta be careful. Gotta be careful. Okay.
Mine doesn't even look like dots. It's kind of just a blob.
Yeah, me too. Yeah,
If you wind up putting on too much water on your brush or you have too much of the paint on your brush, it kind of tends to make these big blobs. Or the other problem with big blobs is that you might push down too much with your brush and it makes really big blobs instead of little tiny kind of dotty areas. Yeah, people are like, yep, that's me. And I'm just going in and I'm adding in more and more dots, kind of trying to get my middle to look like it's not a dying tree and it actually has a lot of needles going on in the middle. And I'm getting pretty close to not adding any more dots to this.
That looks really bad. It's okay. Only the top part.
I'm going to take a pause on that. The other thing that you're going to do is you're going to add even more little trees. So cute.
No, just
Uh-huh. So, just when you thought you were done, I'm going to rejuvenate my green paint that I still have in there. And now, using the same brush, what's great is I'm going to, on the right and the left side of my tree, add some little tiny lines. So I'm going to add a little line right here. I'm going to add a little tiny line there. And I'm going to add a little tiny line right there. These are all going to be trees. And I'm going to add a little tiny line like here. And then put another one right up there. All of these little tiny lines I added up here are all going to be little trees, and I'm going to start doing them the same way that I did this one, where right up at the top, I don't start right at the top. I come down a little bit and I do a little dot out to the side and out to the side, and then I drop down and I do some more little dots out to the side, and then I kind of make the little branches as I'm going down a little bit longer and longer as I get all the way down to the bottom. Bless you. I always sneeze in twos. I don't know about you.
I'm a one sneeze.
One sneeze.
Naomi's like, she sneezes like
five.
sneeze.
Yeah, this is... Now, the smaller the tree, the harder it is to control where things go. So my little baby tree right here is looking like a little blob.
I had so much.
My little baby tree is looking really cute.
I wish that could be me.
I mean, it's like kind of blobby, but I kind of like it.
I like that for you.
Thank you.
Oh my.
The bigger the tree, the easier it is to make all these little branches.
Wait, I need a smaller brush.
You might just push too hard down.
So I'm using a 0. Wait, I'm gonna use a 0.
And look at all these little kids. After this, we're going to go to clouds, which is nice. So you get a little break. You get a little bit. Don't worry. We go back to leaf. After this, we do clouds, then we start all the way back at leaf again.
Oh, mine looks so bad.
Yeah, when my trees are a little bit bigger on the paper, I have a little bit, I can make space in between all those branches for them. But when they're tiny, it's really hard.
I can't. These are just looking worse and worse. Oh, listen, look at mine. These ones. These ones look so bad though. More as I can't do it.
And if you're wondering, are we going to go on top of the tree we just did with another layer? Yes, we're going to put a little bit of brown in there eventually, but right now we're just going to let it hang out on there and dry for a bit. Before we move on to clouds, I want you to take, and hopefully you still have a little, maybe hopefully a little bit of green left. If you don't, add some water to it. Maybe try to, stretch this as far as you can. We're going to go along that top edge of there's like a whole little bush top edge there. And I want you to use that same green to kind of go and dot along the top edge. I'm doing it up on the screen now if you're wondering, what the heck is she talking about? I'm going along this whole top edge and just kind of going up and down and dotting with the green paint that I just used and adding in kind of a darker line going all the way across. And after I do this, I'm going to grab some water right on my brush and blend out the bottom part of that dark green line that I just put on there with just a little tiny bit of water, using some dotting too right below. I'm not even brushing back and forth. I don't know if any of you've noticed this, but a lot of times, like if you try to blend something out, it actually winds up taking paint off the paper and then making a white spot. Okay, the trick to get around that is instead of using your brush and going back and forth, you take your brush and you go up and down. And then it doesn't pull the paint off the paper. So now I'm just going with just water and kind of going up and down and blending it down into the bottom area so that there isn't a harsh line or anything like that.
I'm trying to keep up on
Doing pretty good.
the dotting thing.
Oh, me too.
I'm kind of doing that.
Wait, okay, what are we supposed to do?
Okay, and so it's looking pretty good now. You're taking that same green, you're going along this whole top line that I'm touching with my brush up on the screen, and you're dotting. You're not brushing back and forth. You're going up and down. Once you get through that whole line, then you want to take just water and do the same thing on the bottom part of that line. So like on this one up here, you can see how this is kind of like starting to like blend out and come down because I just went and dotted along the bottom part of it, and so it's kind of blending down. Something is definitely going on with my projector. I feel like it's getting darker as we're in this class.
Can we turn off the light?
Well, no, because then you can't see. This is the problem. I guess we're going to switch out my projector. There's a teacher here who needs one that's not attached to the ceiling. She wants it on a cart. And it doesn't matter for me because I just pop it in. So I think we're going to switch. So the one I get will be a little bit brighter. Ding, ding, ding. Look at this. It's coming in. We are into cloud world. You get a little bit of a break finally. The tree is the most annoying and craziest thing. So, okay. So to do the clouds, okay, I don't know where you are in your color mixing area. Do you have any blue or purple in any of your mixes?
No.
Okay, purple mix is good. We'll use a purple mix. You do need to put a little bit of a blue, you need to make like a blue purple mix. So you could use some of that purple and make a, like pull from that. And then we're going to make a blue purple because we're going to do, and I'm pointing my finger on it towards the bottom here. We're going to make this little line that goes above the bottom cloud down here. And so we need a blue with a little bit of purple in it. So in one of your little areas, I used this one right here. I want you to mix cerulean blue and ultramarine blue together. And we haven't really used ultramarine blue with the clouds yet in the moon one. We've kind of kept it light, but we need it to be a little bit darker so that we see the difference, like where I'm putting my finger right now, how that is a little bit of a darker line. So I need you to add a little bit of that ultramarine into the cerulean because that will make it darker. Okay, so I want you to mix cerulean blue and put some ultramarine in to basically make a darker value of cerulean blue. Okay. Da-da-da. And Bernadette, this is a repeat from the last class, so you can catch up on something else right now that we're doing in the watercolor, or you can just chill and watch us do this over again because we already did this one. You need cerulean blue and ultramarine blue. You're going to mix a little puddle. You want it like lighter, but the cerulean blue is too light. Does that make sense? So that's why I added a little ultramarine to like darken it a little bit.
What number? You have to add your blue.
You could use a 4 or a 6. I would say a 6 might be easier because you're painting larger areas. So a 4, you have to like keep up and do a lot of work. So I would say a number 6 would be really good. Once you get that darker blue, this is what I would like for you to do. This is called negative painting. So we're not going to be painting the cloud itself. We're painting above the cloud to bring the cloud out because this bottom one stays really light. So it stays the color that you already have on your paper. So what we're doing is you're taking your brush and you're painting above your pencil line. You're covering your pencil line like this. And then you're taking your brush and then I want you to pull the top part of the painted line up into this area so that this down here stays dry. This should stay dry. And this up here will be kind of a little wet. Now, if you notice, like as you're pulling it up, you're like, it's kind of getting like a little weird looking. You could add a little bit of water to that to kind of blend it a little better. But basically, I painted this. I'll go over this one more time. I painted this line down here. The top part of the line, I blended going up to the top part of this like little cloud line that we have right up by the purple at the top. And then I let it dry. The goal here is that you should see a difference between this bottom cloud and this middle section of cloud now that you're painted. The bottom area should be the lightest area that you have going on now. Now, everyone painted these a little bit differently in the beginning. So some of you might have painted this bottom cloud kind of dark. Might be a thing, and that's totally fine. If you painted this so dark, though, that when you painted this line on the bottom and it doesn't even show up, you need to make it even darker then so it does show up. So basically, you're painting this line, and then the top part of the line you're pulling up, kind of like a blend. So you're kind of reverse painting. You're not painting the cloud, you're painting the space around the cloud. They call that negative painting because you're painting the negative space, which is the space around the cloud.
I mean, can I say, where does the second one go?
We aren't on the second one yet. We're only on the first one. The problem is you have to wait for things to dry. So after you do that, we're going back to the leaf. Woo! Around the town today, we're cruising now. Back to the leaf. I hope that you still have a little bit of leaf color left that you could rejuvenate, because I want you to draw the little lines on the leaf if you haven't yet. If you look up here, I did a line coming down the middle, and then I have these little lines coming out like this, and then little lines coming over here like this. Now, I will be honest, when you do the lines coming down your leaf, people don't like it when the line is super straight because it looks like so strange. So students really like when they do the line, and I'll show you on this example right here. Students like when they do the lines, these lines kind of have a little bit of a curve to them, these middle parts. And they like these ones are kind of more straight. Students like it more, for some reason, like these little lines coming down curved. I'm showing you this finished one so you get the idea for your top one, but you know, you can do it whatever way you want. When I was first starting this top one, this is like my first one. So as you see, like it's like a straight line, the straight line's coming right out. And I was like, ooh, I don't like that. So I changed my mind. So if you do it on the top one, the world will not end. You can change your mind because once again, this is where we're putting all of our experiments and learning how to use the paint.
Do you want it to get close to like
Okay.
the end of it?
Well, I kind of did like this deal in my top one. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And so once you get those lines on that leaf, we are going to go down and we are going to do what I have done a step ahead of you somewhat. We are using that color again that you already used. And if you see, you have already done this once, so you are professional. We are going to go on this second row of these leaves, okay? I don't know if you can see the pencil. This one, as you can even kind of tell through the bad projection, got a little funky and messed up. So I'm gonna have to like go back over this and kind of like with the paint and kind of form this into something here. But basically all that I want you to do for this is I want you to take your blue-green color and I want you to go around all of these leaves that you did. And then you're going to, just like you did on this one, you're going to blend out,
For all the leaves?
okay, for all of these, you're gonna blend out this color. So I'm gonna do it with you at the same time, since the first time.
So look for the mixture for the green.
I'm sorry?
What was the mixture?
The mixture for the green was lemon yellow and cerulean blue. Yes, lemon yellow and cerulean blue. So I have some green mixture, but I'm already out.
Are we using the same color, right?
Same color, lemon yellow and cerulean blue. The thing is that with watercolor, the more layers you put down, the darker it becomes. So because we're pulling down the outside line over all the rest of the square each time, that it will eventually make all those other areas, it should make all those areas a little bit darker. Sorry, I'm a little behind. I have to mix up a little cerulean yellowy mixture. Okay, so I am going in and I'm starting to do my outlining of all my leaves. And I kind of try to work a little quick with this because if it starts to dry, it becomes really hard to blend out the outside part of that line, I've realized. So, take this. And now I'm blending out the outside part of the line on all of them and kind of pulling it. I kind of like, I don't really even call it blending. I just kind of like I'm pulling it down. Now my brush is already like it's drying out. So I'm just adding a little bit of water, kind of blending that out. If you feel like it's taking some paint off of there, you're pushing really hard then, or you're rubbing back and forth so much. So you just need to be a little bit more gentle. Now I can tell just even kind of pulling that down that it's a little bit darker. I'm gonna say this is probably like a thing that I haven't done before, but I am gonna add a little bit of that blue-green into the bottom part of the square because I feel like it didn't even pull what I had all the way down there. So I added a little bit, and I'm using a little bit of water to kind of blend it around. So it's a little bit darker down there. Then the last thing, I don't know about you, but when I did mine, around this top leaf, I didn't feel like there was a good shadow. And I added one in. Like when you look at yours, do you have like a good shadow going around on this top corner one? Okay, this is what I did. It's kind of like, we've done this a lot before. I added a line of that blue-green around the top part of this leaf up here. So I went in, I'm doing it right now up on the screen. I painted this little line going around of the blue-green. I rinsed it out, and then with just water, I didn't go back and forth. I dotted the edge. I just go up and down. And that really adds like a super nice shadow. Same color, same blue-green. You don't even need to remix it. I feel like when I go back and forth on this one, it kind of pulls the color. So that's why I go up and down with a little bit of water on the outside, and it adds a super nice shadow. Is it working for you?
No.
Some people are yes, some people are no.
I don't even know what I put too much water. Wait, what do you mean you dotted it?
So instead of, look at me on the screen, instead of you, when you paint the line, right, then you want to go back with water and you want to blend the line out like this. Instead of going like this, go like this with water. Dot water on there on the edge of the line, the blue-green line that you painted, and it will blend it out. If you go like this on the paper, it won't pull the color off the paper. It makes sense to you once you hear it. If you are wiping the paper back and forth with your paintbrush, you tend to want to pull previous layers of color off sometimes when it's still in the drying process. So that's why instead of going back and forth, I just go around the edge and just kind of take my brush and go up and down like this. Now you might still be trying to figure out like how much force do I use, all that kind of stuff, but
Yeah, I think we should.
So like, I kind of like can't
Okay.
see any of my lines.
So it kind of like.
11:29. Ooh, here. And once we get to this point, I am going to stop for today.
Unless I can't like draw.
So if you feel like any of these, you want to do a little bit of cleanup before the end of class, you can go ahead and do a little bit of cleanup right now.
I don't know how to do the leaves because I can't see my line.
Well, you're going to have to just make a guess then. So you could see what's going on here. So basically, from the middle of this leaf, a line comes out and goes like this, and then another one comes down. And from the middle of this leaf, a line comes out and goes like that.
So next time I hot lunch twice. You see this?
Now, the goal for this, for a lot of you, is hard because it is not perfection. It is experience and process. Yes. The goal is not the end result. It is the experience and the process. I cannot expect you to get end results when we are still learning. Okay? Hopefully after this, everything will come together And you're gonna be like, okay, I'm kind of getting this now.
So like my
Do
leaves.
you have blueberries today?
Yeah, you see what's going on here?
I tried kind of catching up.
Okay, yeah, you're doing well.
Kind of was
Okay, you would have to work on this one in the next class to do that, this thing that we did over here today. Where we added a little purple to the blue to make it darker. Or a dark blue, I mean to the blue. And we drew this line, and then we used water to kind of pull it up. So this stays nice and light down here, so this will be your color. You can see on the cloud, here's your first one here. So you'll be drawing like, mix the light blue with a little darker, you'll do this, and then you'll pull the color up. Okay, you see where everyone's at?
More, so they don't even look like leaves.
Oh, look at you.
Alice, your tree looks so good.
You're all right.
I'm telling you, her tree is so good.
They'll be majestic. It's like really good.
Okay,
Oh,
okay. Let me see what you did.
I didn't know.
I didn't know we were supposed to do all of that. I realized that.
That's fine.
No.
Let me see.
It's Marta. Like I've never done anything this bad.
Marta, look at mine, bro.
No, I did all the leaves. Didn't know. Marta, it's okay.
Yeah, like.
And it makes you feel better.
This is not a good experience.
It's okay, Marta.
Marta, this is good for you to learn to let go of something.
No, it's so Marta.
Don't worry, I do give like a half a class at the end, like you can. Okay.
Morris, I messed up really bad.
It's okay.
I don't know what I'm doing.
As they say, are you ready for this thing? What do they say? How do you learn this?
Do not make mistakes.
Yeah.
Morris,
Yeah, it's how you learn by making mistakes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
You want it back? Where do
yeah. You can put it back, it goes up
Okay,
here.
because she is soaking wet.
Why?
Because I was holding her with my wet hands.
It's right there. Yep,
Where's just here?
no,
No. Oh, okay.
there,
Oh.
yeah, there, you've got it.
I'm too good. I'm too good. I'm too good.
Okay,
do you like my drink?
okay, let's see what we got over there. Ooh,
Oh.
yeah, okay. Look at you. Okay, this is looking cute.
I feel like I did a little too much.
I need to go over with you girls in this class. I added a little bit of
I needed.
green to my, you can't see it, down in here, because it looks so brown. So I took some green and I went like along the edge and kind of brought it in and blended it up with water. So this brown still have a kind of around the edge. So it looked nice.
Thank you.
Okay, ladies, this is amazing.
I'll play drink.
You got her low.
Thank
No?
you, Morris. Yeah.
Yeah, all right. Okay. All right, Bernadette, I'm pausing this.